The trailer that dropped on November 6th is a beautiful, expensive lie. It's a masterpiece of pure nostalgia, designed to promise one thing, a celebration. But what that trailer is hiding is a nightmare scenario, a legal crisis so catastrophic it forced the entire movie to be rewritten and secretly split in two. The film you think you're getting in 2026 is not the film they shot. Let's look at what they are showing you. The 1-minute, 13-second teaser is a brilliant strategy. It opens with the voice of legendary producer Quincy Jones, saying,
I know you've been waiting a long time for this.
"I know you've been waiting for this for a long time. The pieces are ready. Let's take it from the top." It's a meta reference, not just to the Thriller album, but to the audience's decades-long wait for this very film. The teaser is a rapid-fire assault of iconic, safe, and beloved moments. The high-energy blast of Wanna Be Startin' Something and Thriller. We see glimpses of the Jackson 5, the birth of the moonwalk, and the recreation of the Thriller music video. But this isn't just nostalgia. It's a calculated strategy of authenticity. The film's primary weapon is its star, Jafar Jackson, Michael's real-life nephew. The physical, vocal, and spiritual likeness is uncanny. This isn't just casting, it's a blessing. Michael's own mother, Katherine Jackson, said Jafar embodies her son. The director, Anton Fuqua, called their meeting a spiritual connection. This casting is designed to give the project immediate, undeniable legitimacy from the inside. And to silence the critics, they brought in the prestige team. The producer, Graham King, who delivered the $900 million Bohemian Rhapsody. And the cast? Oscar nominee Coleman Domingo to play the controversial patriarch, Joe Jackson. Domingo's mission, in his own words, is to humanize the man many see as an abuser. Nia Long plays the family's pillar of strength, Catherine. The teaser, the casting, it's all a brilliant $155 million package. This film looks perfect, it feels perfect, it has to, because as we'll soon discover, this entire celebration is a desperate legal pivot. And the biggest threat to the film's authenticity isn't from the critics, it's coming from inside the family, from Michael's own daughter. The entire marketing campaign for Michael rests on one central pillar, family approval. The producers, the Jackson estate, want you to see this as the official story. They cast Michael's nephew, Jafar Jackson, to guarantee an authentic performance. They secured the blessing of the matriarch, Katherine Jackson. The message is clear. The family is united. But this united front is a meticulous, fragile lie. The single most destructive blow to the film's credibility did not come from a critic. It came from the one voice the estate cannot silence, Michael's own daughter, Paris Jackson. The war exploded into public view in September 2025. Coleman Domingo, the Oscar-nominated actor playing Joe Jackson, gave an interview claiming the family, including Paris, was supportive of the film and offering guidance. Paris Jackson's response was not a quiet correction. It was a public execution. She went on Instagram and scorched the story. She flatly denied Domingo's claims, stating she has 0% involvement in the project and asked the media to leave me out of it. But this is where the betrayal is so much deeper. Paris wasn't just an angry outsider. Our research reveals she was involved. She explained that she read an early version of the script, and she hated it. She found parts of the story dishonest, parts that just didn't feel true. Like a loyal daughter, she provided her notes to the production team, the team run by her own family's estate. And here is the moment the family approval narrative dies. According to Paris Jackson, the producers, her own family's representatives, explicitly told her they would not be taking her notes. She was ignored. She was shut out. So, in her words, she butted out of the project completely. Her final judgment on her own father's official biopic, it is sugar-coated. It is a fantasy. She stated the film only caters to a very specific part of his fan base that lives in fantasy. This is the ultimate emotional autopsy. This isn't a critic like Dan Reed. This is Michael's daughter, confirming the world's deepest fear that the movie is a whitewash and startlingly disingenuous. The trailer, as we saw in part 1, promised a perfect celebration. Paris Jackson in part 2 has just confirmed it is a sugar-coated fantasy. But why? Why would the producers need to hide the truth? Why would they need to rewrite their own movie? Because the original film they shot, the epic 4-hour version that did include the 1990s, was discovered to be illegal. If you'd like to support the research we do to uncover deep stories like this one, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means we can continue to bring these untold truths to light. So why? Why would the producers, the Jackson estate, ignore Paris Jackson's notes? Why would they need to create a sugar-coated fantasy? Because the truth is that the original movie they shot, the 4-hour epic, is now legally unusable. This is the nightmare scenario that the shiny new teaser trailer is designed to hide. This isn't a creative choice. This is a legal disaster. The original cut of the film, directed by Antoine Fuqua, was reportedly an epic 3.5 to 4 hours long. The plan, according to sources, was to release it as a massive 2-part cinematic event, much like the movie Wicked. Part 1 would be the triumphant rise. Part 2 would be the dark, complex fall, including the 1990s, Neverland, and the crushing allegations. They filmed it all. Principal photography wrapped in May 2024. The epic was finished. But after the film was shot, the producers, including the Jackson estate, discovered something catastrophic, a ghost from 1993. But this is the detail that blew up the entire production. Our research, confirmed by reports from Puck News, reveals that the multi-million-dollar settlement agreement Michael Jackson signed with the Jordan Chandler family in 1993 contained a poison pill clause. It permanently banned the Chandler family or their experiences from ever being dramatized in any film. And the producers, the very estate that is managing Jackson's legacy, reportedly missed it. They forgot. They spent $155 million shooting an entire film that they legally were not allowed to make. The result was immediate and devastating. The entire third act of the movie, the part that dealt with the 1990 scandals, was instantly declared unusable. 2 full weeks of footage, including scenes shot at Neverland, had to be thrown out. This wasn't a creative pivot. It was a financial and legal emergency. The film's release date was pushed back again and again, from 2025 to its new date in April 2026. The studio had to conduct extensive reshoots, 22 days of them, in June 2025, just to salvage their massive investment. So what is the movie you are seeing the trailer for? It's not the gladiator-style epic John Logan wrote. It is, by necessity, Part 1. It is the safe version, a film that now focuses only on the 1980s victory era and ends with an optimistic, crowd-pleasing finale right before the 1993 allegations hit. The real movie, the one with the trials, is now locked in a vault, legally unwatchable. But this raises one final dark question. If the estate forgot the Chandler agreement, who else are they protecting? Who is the real power behind this movie? The answer is also one of the film's main characters. So, who is this hidden power? Who is the character who is also the producer? His name is John Branca. If you're a casual fan, you might not know the name, but Branca was Michael Jackson's longtime attorney and manager. He is now the co-executor of the Michael Jackson estate, and he is one of the main producers of this $155 million movie. This is the single greatest conflict of interest in the entire production. And here is the most brilliant and most cynical move of their entire strategy. How do you make this behind-the-scenes lawyer a pivotal and heroic character in the film? You cast one of the biggest, most popular A-list stars in America to play him. They cast Miles Teller, the star of Top Gun Maverick, the star of Whiplash. This isn't just casting. This is canonization. This is John Branca, the producer, using an A-list star to retroactively write his own importance into Michael Jackson's official story. But the conflict gets even clearer. Miles Teller himself confirmed that to prepare for the role, he hung out with the real John Branca. This isn't an actor interpreting a character. This is an actor being directly briefed by the man he is playing, who is also his boss, on a film that will define both of their legacies. The producers, Graham King and Antoine Fuqua, have backed this up, calling Teller's role enigmatic and central to the plot. Of course it is. The man paying for the movie is the hero. This strategy is so blatant that skeptical audiences on platforms like Reddit have already called it out. They are not seeing prestige casting. They are seeing a producer aggrandizing his own role. They are seeing the creation of a white savior narrative written and approved by the savior himself. This is the ultimate meta power move. John Branca is producing a film in which he is a hero who helps save Michael Jackson. This internal whitewashing of Branca's own role is a massive red flag. It seems to confirm Paris Jackson's claim that the film is dishonest. But if they are willing to do this, to rewrite their own history, what are they doing to Michael's? This leads us to the film's biggest external critic, the one man who has read the script and is publicly calling it a startlingly disingenuous lie. That man is Dan Reed. If that name sounds familiar, it should. He is the director of the 2019 documentary Leaving Neverland. This is the single most important conflict in this entire saga. Leaving Neverland is the shadow that this $155 million biopic was created to fight. It's the reason there is a skeptical audience, and Dan Reed claims he has read the script. While the producers, the Jackson estate, and the cast are selling a story of humanization and authenticity, Reed went public with a devastating allegation. He didn't just suspect the film was a whitewash. He called the script he read startlingly disingenuous. But his accusation is more specific than just a feeling. Reed claimed the script he read wasn't just sanitized. He alleged it was an active work of propaganda. He claimed the script actively works to discredit the accusers. Worse, he alleged that it paints a one-sided portrait of Jackson, only showing him in beatific scenarios, such as visiting cancer patients or girls in wheelchairs. This accusation is a direct missile strike against the film's entire marketing strategy. Because the producers have built their entire defense on one carefully selected phrase, the producer Graham King, the man who gave us the $900 million, factually questionable Bohemian Rhapsody, has been selling this film with a specific promise. I aim to humanize, but not sanitize. Dan Reed's claim is that the film does nothing but sanitize. The studio, of course, denies this. A source close to the production, speaking through Variety, immediately fired back. They dismissed Reed's claims as just his personal opinion. They insisted that the script never portrayed the Chandlers in the way Reed described. So, who does the audience believe? Do they believe Dan Reed, the man who directed the explosive documentary that reignited the allegations? Or do they believe the Jackson estate, the very people who, as we learned in Part 3, forgot about the legal agreement that banned them from portraying the Chandlers in the first place? The studio's denial that the script doesn't portray the Chandlers might just be because they legally can't. This brings us full circle. We know the nightmare scenario forced the producers to throw out the entire third act of the movie. We know they were legally forced to create a Part 1 that focuses only on the 1980s victory era. This sanitized script that Dan Reed described, it's not a lie. It's the only movie they are allowed to show us. So what is this film really? Is it a celebration? Or is it a $155 million rehabilitation? So this is the final calculation. The $155 million gamble. What is the movie Michael, set for release on April 24, 2026? It is not a simple biopic. It is a $155 million corporate maneuver, managed by the Michael Jackson estate, designed to permanently redefine his legacy in the post-Leaving Neverland era. The film faces a deeply fractured American market. On one side, the loyal fan base, energized by the nostalgic teaser, the fantasy fan base Paris Jackson described. On the other, the skeptical audience who, thanks to Leaving Neverland and the estate's total control as producers, believe this is an inevitable whitewash. But this is where the Bohemian Rhapsody playbook comes in. The producer, Graham King, has a proven formula. Bohemian Rhapsody made $900 million at the box office despite being critically torn apart for sanitizing Freddie Mercury's life. King is aiming for a feel-good Top Gun-style blockbuster, and this film, despite its humanized but not sanitized promise, is following that exact model. Prioritize the celebration of genius over the complexity of truth. But here is the ultimate irony of this entire production. The nightmare scenario, the legal crisis that forced the film to be split in two, may have accidentally been the smartest commercial move of all. The original 4-hour cut, which did address the allegations, would have poisoned the film in the American market. But the forced reshoots and the legal necessity to cut the 1990s created a Part 1 that is legally required to be safe. Therefore, the film is now, temporarily, free of its biggest burden. The studio doesn't have to address the allegations, because the Chandler settlement prevents them from doing so. This allows them to sell the 2026 film as pure, celebratory nostalgia, just like the teaser promises. So what is the American audience really buying a ticket for in 2026? It is not the complete, complex, or tragic life of Michael Jackson. It is, as our research concludes, the greatest hits version. It is the safe film, the optimistic film. This is Part 1. The fate of the real movie, the dark, controversial Part 2 that is still locked in a vault, depends entirely on how much money this safe one makes. So that's the complicated story behind the new Michael movie. It's a lot more than just the celebration you see in the trailer. If this deep dive into the legal challenges, the family's perspective, and the story behind the story gave you something new to think about, we'd love your support. Please hit that like button. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people who love these complex stories. And be sure to subscribe so you can join us for our next deep dive.